Supporters of suspended ANC Secretary General Ace Magashule came out in their numbers outside the High Court in Bloemfontein today. Magashule and 15 other co-accused appeared in court. They're facing charges of theft, corruption and money laundering in relation to a 255 million rand asbestos tender. The matter has been postponed for pre-trial on the 3rd of November. Reporter Pule Letshwiti has been following activities outside court and is joining us now live on the Midday View. Good afternoon, Pule. Tell us what happened. What are the key highlights that took place today?
Well, Bradan, there's some, critical highlights that took place inside court and outside. But just a quick recap of inside, we do know that now that the suspended ANC Secretary General, Ace Magashule, wants the list of witnesses who implicated him in the 255 million rand asbestos corruption case, saying that they want to know who were some of those names in that list through his lawyers. But furthermore, we do know that the defense is still dealing with some of the notices that have been submitted from the state in terms of the Criminal Procedure Act of subsection 212B, which are facts that are not disputed. But it's quite critical of Magashule outside to then address his supporters to continuously repeat that he is being pursed and that this is nothing but a political move to try and hinder his availability inside the movement, of course, in his capacity as the Secretary General of the ANC.
Now the 3rd of November is my birthday, so you can see that the state is just wasting our time. It is clear this thing is political, and we have put a notice in terms of oversight. There's no ever such a charge, and we are going to further put some notices. And all of us, we have been ready. It's for the first time that you hear the state saying they can't give, we must read, and they just ask them a simple question. Give them the list of witnesses, because we're entitled as so-called accused involved in corruption. I have never in my rest of my life been involved in corruption. So how do I defend myself when the media itself says there are 70 charges against me, and they pump the story of 70 charges? And I said to the journalist, you have gone to school, you have an indictment, just list and tabulate these charges for me.
Pule, it seems like, from the supporters who turned out, that Ace Magashule is pretty much guaranteed that kind of support even when he returns in November.
And something they have an irony in, or rather in comparison here, Bradan, is that they have all been either suspended or removed from their positions as well. And what we know that he was flagged by the likes of Sam Mashinini, a very loyal supporter of Ace Magashule, who we know was, of course, removed from his position as MEC for Roads and Transport and Police in the Free State. And we're now seeing the likes of the convener of the provincial task team in the province, who is in Tukwana, heading a portfolio as the MEC now. And of course the other member, Vusi Shabalala, former chief whip in Maluta Pofong as well, or rather in the Free State as well. And what we understand is that this is of course a very loyal supporter of Ace Magashule, who came out in his number with other supporters from the area. But one thing for sure, he says he's still fighting tooth and nail in terms of the suspension he faces from the party, and of course and his position as a mayor. And these are the kind of ANC members who are saying that now that they don't know where they stand at the party, they're forming their own organizations in terms of luring some of those independent candidates to join them. And these are some of the candidates who are actually competing with the ANC for the upcoming local government elections on the 1st of November. And we do know in one area where the president was campaigning in Kwakwa, here in the Free State, we heard about some of those by-elections that have been gone to the independent candidates. About 10 of them won by the independent candidates, and so the ANC is actually fighting, hard to grab some of those words to come their way. Hence, the president's campaigning throughout the province for the past 2 days.
Thank you very much, Pule Letshwiti Jones.